Welcome to SVG-TV News for Monday, July 3rd, 2023. I am Rochelle Batiste with the details. A tropical wave will continue to affect St. Vincent and the Grenadines and its marine area into Tuesday, July 4, 2023. A flash flood advisory also remains in effect for a low risk of flooding. Residents and motorists in areas prone to flash flooding and landslides or near rivers and streams are asked to exercise caution. The SVG Met Services says from tonight, accompanying the tail end of a tropical wave will be an increase in wind speeds between 35 to 50 kilometers per hour with occasional gusts near showers, which will result in a deterioration of sea conditions. According to the SVG Met Services, these brisk wind speeds will generate easterly swells ranging from 8 to 10 feet. As a result, a high wind advisory and small craft advisory is in effect for St. Vincent and the Grenadines and its coastal waters until 12 p.m. tomorrow, Tuesday, July 4, 2023. A high wind advisory is issued when sustained winds of 47 to 61 kilometers per hour or 29 to 38 miles per hour not associated with a tropical cyclone are forecast to affect the land area. Residents are strongly urged to be vigilant against fallen trees, loose outdoor objects and disconnected overhead wires. A small craft advisory is issued when sustained winds of 23 to 29 miles per hour and or sea swells of 8 to 10 feet are affecting or forecast to affect the marine area. The SVG Met Services says large waves and dangerous rip currents will create unsafe conditions for small craft operators, particularly on the northern and eastern coastlines. These conditions may become even more adverse at times of high tide. The Met Services says only vessels capable of withstanding these swells should venture out. Sea bathers are also advised to stay out of the water. In other news, we hear that a flag-raising ceremony to mark the beginning of a week of celebrations for the 50th anniversary of the Caribbean Community CARICOM was held here today outside the administrative or financial complex in capital Kingstown. The activities are being held under the theme 50 years strong, a solid foundation to build on. Deputy Director of the Regional Integration Diaspora Unit, Maxwell Charles, highlighted the importance of CARICOM to regional unity and integration.
After the failure of the West Indies Federation, CARICOM was born in 1973 after the signing of the Treaty of Chaguaramas. Since independence from our colonial powers, we have always recognized the need to work together for the greater political and economic power in a dynamic and changing world. I say this morning that regional unity and regional integration is a must. The Regional Integration and Diaspora Unit was born out of the office of our Prime Minister. But at present, we are now under the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We support and deal with all matters of regional integration, whether it be the OECS or CARICOM. This government is fully committed to regional integration. So there is always a need for an organization within the government which facilitates the progression to regional unity and regional cooperation. The director of RIDU is also the ambassador to the OECS and CARICOM. RIDU salutes CARICOM in this its 15th year of existence. I'm advised that it is the oldest integrated movement in the developing world. 3 cheers for CARICOM. We pay tribute to the We pay tribute to the founding fathers who were visionaries of integration. They recognized very early that disunity and fragmentation and discord would only serve to magnify our challenges and make them larger than each island. They recognized that regional integration would only serve to advance our cause and our interests. And that is what this 50th year is all about, celebrating what CARICOM has done and is doing and will do for us.
Acting Prime Minister Montgomery Daniel says while we as Vincentians celebrate CARICOM Day, which is a day of unification, we must not forget the struggles of our Garifuna ancestors, as he commended a resident of North Windward for singing the national anthem of SVG in Garifuna at today's flag-raising ceremony.
How the British dispelled our people, rob us of a language, of a culture, and a people for 200 years. But we, within the last couple of years, have been able to delve into our historical path and have begun the process of restoring even our language. I say three cheers to you, Madam Roberts.
Speaking on the importance of CARICOM to SVG and the significance of multilateral organizations to small island states such as St. Vincent and Grenadines, Daniel said today is a significant day in the history of our region.
And so for 50 years, we would have seen outstanding work done by the institution CARICOM. Today, the prime ministers of the region, the prime ministers of this noble region are in Trinidad and Tobago again to acknowledge and celebrate the golden jubilee of CARICOM, its 50th anniversary. And so, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, as a member of CARICOM, stands firmly to the principles of regional integration and cooperation. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, since the establishment of CARICOM in 1973, has played a pivotal role in fostering economic development, social progress, and regional unity among its member states. We share a common history, culture, and challenges, making regional collaboration vital for our sustainable growth. In its economic path,
Minister Dr. Raul Gonzalez is leading a high-level Vincentian delegation to the 45th regular CARICOM Heads of Government meeting and the official launch of the CARICOM 50th anniversary celebrations in Trinidad and Tobago from today, Monday, July 3rd to Wednesday, July 5th, 2023. Prime Minister Gonzalez is accompanied by his wife, Eloise, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Senator Kiesel Peters, and SVG's ambassador to CARICOM, His Excellency Alan Alexander. At the meeting, regional leaders will discuss a number of issues, including food security, climate change, and climate change financing, the ongoing difficulties in Haiti, security issues, external relations matters, and the CARICOM single market and economy, the CSME. The heads of government are expected to engage several international guests, including the President of Rwanda, His Excellency Paul Kagame, the UN Secretary General, His Excellency Antonio Guterres, President-designate of the United Nations Climate Change Conference, COP28, His Excellency Dr. Sultan Hamid Al-Jabi, the President of the Republic of Korea, His Excellency Han Duck-soo, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken, and Minority Leader in the U.S. House of Representatives Congressman Kahim Jeffers. The official opening ceremony began at 5 p.m. Tomorrow is the official flag raising ceremony beginning at 9 a.m. CARICOM 50th anniversary tributes from 10:30 a.m. followed by CARICOM 50th anniversary concert from 7 p.m. The closing news conference will take place on Wednesday, July 5th from 6:45 p.m. Over 100 students from the primary and secondary level today received cash and vouchers donated by the SVG Friendship Foundation based in the United Kingdom. At the handing over ceremony, chairman of the SVG Friendship Foundation in the United Kingdom, Ambassador Senior Lewis, said that the charity organization was set up since the eruption of La Soufrière volcano in 2021 with an aim to assist children in need and to make a difference in their lives.
The charity purposes of the charity is to help with the education of our children. To paraphrase our Prime Minister, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, very early in his administration, way back 2000, beyond just around the year 2001, 2005, between that period, he said, education is the pivot, I'm paraphrasing him, is the pivot on which our country's development stands. I am in total agreement with that view. Pivotal to our development is our children, for they constitute the very future of our country.
Former Deputy Prime Minister and member of the charity, Sir Louis Straker, said he is grateful for the opportunity to distribute the funds to the students to help with their education and the development of SVG.
There should be never a time when our children would have to drop out of school because they did not have the resources to continue their education. And I hear it time and again that young people would say, well, I didn't continue because my parents didn't have the money for me to continue school. I don't wish to offend you, but I would say that should not be the case. If children are imbued with the ambition, if parents have the motivation to motivate their children and not leave them by themselves, help them to see that there is a future. Help them to ask themselves, what do you want to be and when are you going to achieve that? There would never be a time when a child would have to drop out of school. There's a multiplicity of institutions that provide assistance to poor people in this country that never happened before. Those who are parents here, the older ones, would be able to say, if I were younger, I would have been able to take advantage of the opportunities offered to the children today.
Minister of National Mobilization, Randy Brewster, said that the recipients were chosen from every area of the country and thanked the trustees and the members of the SVG Friendship Foundation for the worthy donation.
I look across the room this morning and I look at the children, and in my mind, in the next 15, 20 years, some of these same children who are recipients here today might be at a head table like this, giving back to those who are in need. So I want you to make sure, and I heard everyone who spoke before me stressed about the importance of putting this resource to good use. And I want to emphasize, I didn't come from riches, but through education, through perseverance, discipline, a strong will to go on, to break cycles. So not because today your situation might be a little gloomy. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. So put your children needs before yours in this regard. Put them first. This is an investment in your children. And in everything, the Bible says we must give thanks. And in doing this, I want to thank Senior Lewis and the SVG Friendship Foundation in the UK. And you've heard him mention that here in St. Vincent, there would be a sister branch. So we put your hands together for this organization.
The Villa Beach Recreation Facility, undertaken at a cost of almost $1 million, was officially opened here today. Speaking at a ceremony to mark the official opening of the facility, Area Representative and Minister of Finance, Economic Planning and IT, Camila Gonzalez, said that the decision to construct the facility follows a consultation a year ago with the Tourism Authority and hoteliers in the area.
During the cruise season, as those operators, hoteliers and hospitality practitioners know, during the cruise season, this beach is packed, absolutely packed, with chairs and tourists who are coming to enjoy the scenery, enjoy Young Island, enjoy this side of Villa Beach. And there were no facilities for these people. So you could have 500 people on this beach and not even a bathroom for them to use. And what happened was that they would avail themselves of the facilities of the operators along the strip, which was unfair to those operators and created logistical challenges and created safety challenges for those hoteliers along the strip. So here we are with a beautiful strip of beach, magnificent scenery with Young Island and the Grenadines in the distance, close proximity to town, proximity to bars and restaurants and the like. But basic facilities were absent on the beach. And the hospitality industry, the hoteliers in the region, the Minister of Tourism, and other practitioners said that what was important was that we find somewhere along the strip to establish a facility that could provide washrooms, that could provide somewhere to wash off sand, that could have a space for vendors.
Outlining the steps towards constructing the facility, Minister Gonzalez noted that it cost construction took longer than anticipated. The facility is one that manifests the government of SVG desire to optimize the natural resources to have a top-class tourism experience in the country.
This is not the only investment that we have on Villa Beach or nationally in this regard. This investment is close to $1 million. I believe it's $972,000 that was spent on this, and that's a significant amount of money. When we began and we were talking about a couple bathrooms, we weren't talking about $1 million facility. We were talking about a couple bathrooms. And then it has grown and developed into something that I think is a real addition to Villa Beach. Furthermore, we have additional work that we're doing on the boardwalk. We know that if you come down to the Young Island dock, everything to the left of the Young Island dock has already been rebuilt in terms of a boardwalk. The work coming on this side is commencing very soon. We had to make some changes, both from a design perspective and from the contractor that was being used. But we are going to not only rehabilitate, but extend the boardwalk that comes on this side of the beach to ensure that people who park at the Young Island dock can get to the beach without getting their feet wet and slipping on a rock and falling into the water and that sort of a thing.
Several projects are currently being undertaken, which will help to strengthen, improve and transform the local healthcare sector. This is according to Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves on the radio on Sunday, outlining some of these projects.
And we have a busy agenda, but one of the bills is concerning a $6 million US loan, fixed rate at 2% from the Saudi fund, which has been signed for a health center in South Rivers, but which also in that same under that same project would help with the repairs in Connery and in Park Hill, and some money would probably be left over for somewhere else, even down as far down as Kaliakwa. But the rubric is on the South Rivers because that's where the principal sum is going to be spent. Then there's going to be a smart clinic in Byra. In fact, we're looking for somewhere to rent so that we can move the clinic temporarily so that we can then proceed to build a smart clinic in Byra, which is going to be beautiful top-of-the-line clinic too. Then there is, as I mentioned, to Kaliakwa, and there's a program for repairs at all the other clinics. And then the big health project in the offing, the very big one, is the close to 100 million US, 270 million EC dollars, acute referral hospital out at Annisville. All things going well.
Prime Minister Gonsalves noted that SVG's healthcare sector remains a top priority for his government.
Medical treatment. You can get medical and hospital treatment, as I said, for all practical purposes, free. I mean, you look at the what we collect in fees, as I say, is about $3 million, and the largest number in that regard is $1.7 million for lab fees. When the hospital fees is just about $700,000, Cecil. You know what I'm telling you? Mm-hmm. I mean, it's amazing what happens here. And we have, as my brother Walker called in, he himself sees at first hand the tremendous effort which we are making, and he's quite correct that there are persons who will go and make one-sided and jaundiced criticisms and don't talk about the positive things which are happening. They're just being dishonest, and they themselves enjoy the services. I, for one, I've enjoyed the services about Modern Medical.
Okay.
I've gone there and gotten treatment.
And commenting on the attack of a Cuban doctor in capital Kingston on Friday night, which resulted in him being placed in the intensive care unit at the Milton Cater Memorial Hospital, Prime Minister Gonsalves said he feels terrible about what happened. According to reports, Dr. Alfredo Bastistas Salgado, who is the district medical officer for Maricor, was attacked while returning home from the Calypso semifinals at the Victoria Park.
Well, that's not the only reason, but I feel so terrible about this incident which happened where someone inflicted this very severe wound on a Cuban doctor. I've been getting reports from the police. I've been keeping up to date, and P.S. Knights has been informing me, and I've been in touch with Jimmy. It is a great concern, and Pepe, the Cuban ambassador, has been in touch with us. We have been in touch with him, and we are hoping that he gets over this particular injury. But the Cuban people and the Cuban government know that we appreciate very much the work that they're doing and the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines showed tremendous kindness to the Cuban professionals who are here. And if I think I can tell you the excellent relationship which exists between them and the people in the Georgetown area, and with the other employees, the other health workers.
Prime Minister Gonzalez also spoke on the excellent relationship between the Cuban medical professionals and the people of SVG, noting that amidst the challenges Cuba face, it continues to help SVG.
Something which we have put out a patient's charter, which speaks to the responsibility of patients, in addition, of course, to patients' rights. And training of doctors and nurses has been the training has been phenomenal. You couldn't send students down to St. Augustine, down to Trinidad to be trained in medicine. We do that, and that medical, Cecil, if you have a program anytime for medical and nursing and other health professional training, it's a good one to have. I would like to be on it because I have seen how it has evolved, and I've been part of that evolution and the economics of it, and have other professionals in it. I want to suggest that. And in that regard, to say that we just last week here got information, Cuba with all its difficulties, I was really surprised that they upped the number of scholarships. It's 21 scholarships they're offering us for this year coming up, mainly in the medical field. 7 for doctors for first degrees, 7 nurses, 4 for postgraduates in medicine, in different specialities, and then they had a few more in other health sectors, and one in engineering. Now, despite all the challenges, under this wicked, illegal embargo that the American government has on Cuba, it's cruel, and they have been helping us very much, and we have to thank them, and that's why
Minister of Health and the Environment, Sinclair Jimmy Prince, also condemned the attack on the Cuban doctor. Minister Prince said on radio yesterday that doctors at the Milton Keita Memorial Hospital were optimistic about the recovery of their colleague.
But I also want to join my voice in condemnation of the brutal and unwarranted attack on one of our doctors, a very invaluable member of our health team in Mariacua. I am the parliamentary rep for Mariacua, so you should understand my feeling. At the same time, the Minister of Health. And he is a very important in the health service delivery here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I visited him yesterday at the hospital. He's still in the ICU unit. He is stable, but still critical, and the doctors are very optimistic about his recovery. I will go back there to see how he's improving and to lend solidarity with his colleagues, the other Cubans who are in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And you know the extent of the help that we're getting from the Cubans here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So I'm very thankful to them. We were able to publicly thank them at the launching of the MRI at George.
Welcome back. In Carnival Beat this evening, we hear that Blondie Bird and Friends Mass Band, with its production Birds of a Feather, emerged as the winner of the Junior Band of the Year competition held as part of Junior Carnival on Saturday, July 1st, 2023. The second place went to SVG Players International Mass Band with Players Love, third Nelson Block with Papalion, and fourth Imagination with Tell It Like It Is. In the individuals 5 to 9 category of the competition, SVG Players International Mass Band with its portrayal Love took the first position. Second was Blondie Bird and Friends with Peacock. Third, Nelson Block with Butterfly Flower. In the 10 to 15 individuals category, Blondie Bird and Friends took the first and second position with Phoenix and White Top Wobbler. Third place went to Tribes Mass Band with Foods from its 2023 presentation, The Marketplace. The Junior Queen of Carnival title went to Alan Niles with Lovebird from Blondie and Friends 2023 presentation, Birds of a Feather, and second, Tajay Alexis of Nelson Block with I, Sea and Butterfly from its 2023 presentation. Blondie and Friends also took the Junior King of Carnival title with Joel Baston portraying King Cabo. Second place was Jamie Stevenson of Nelson Block with Butterfly Catcher. The best junior section went to SVG Players International with Fun and Frolic. Second and third, Blondie and Friends with Peacock and Lovebird. And fourth place, SVG Players International Mass, Colors, Arts and Crafts. In the Uptown competition, Blondie and Friends with Birds of a Feather was also out front. Second place, SVG Players International. And third, Mirage Production with The Deep. In Junior Panorama now, we head at Hennessy Starlift Steel Orchestra with 245 points, emerged as the winner of the Junior Panorama competition held on Sunday, July 2nd at the Victoria Park. Sand Hill Euphonium Steel Orchestra with Cocaine Jumbie by Field Marshal came in second place with 236 points in the Junior Panorama competition. Third place with 232 points went to Symphonic Steel Orchestra with Hands in the Air by Winston Soso. Fourth place in the Junior Panorama competition with 223 points was Bishop's College Kingston with Afro-Caribbean by Blackson. Fifth with 174 points was Leaf Elite Steel Orchestra with Kentucky by Beckett. And sixth place with 116 points, Sandy Bay Secondary School with To the Sky by Mitch. And the Calypso semi-finalists, selected to compete in the finals of the National Calypso Monarch competition on Sunday, July 9, 2023 at Carnival City Victoria Park are as follows. Learned Fire Empress Ned with The Price of Neglect, Chanel Mackenzie with Who to Blame, Sheena Collis with Beat You Bad with Calypso, Felicia Nubian Princess Alexander with Reckless Driving, Gostel Jesse Cupid with Crisis, Robert Patches King with Do the Right Thing, Bernard Reality, White with I Am Calypso, Manny Cupid with My Time, Carlos Rejector Providence with Use the Anthem More, Glenroy Sully Caesar with Outside, Cleo Cleopatra Hendrickson with Gun Violence. The reserve is Dennis Bowman with Get Up, Do Something. And that brings us to the end of our local news. We'll be right back with news from the region. Stay with us.